Oh, oh, is that it? Have we got it? Hopefully we've got it this time. So yeah, results time. We are 10 minutes off. I don't know if you can hear. Hang on, let me. There we go. I've got Sky News open in front of me. So we will hopefully, in less than 10 minutes' time, find out find out more what is going to happen. Let me know if you can hear me, by the way, and I'm coming through all right. Hopefully, I am. If not, we might have to quickly change devices. I'm doing it on my tablet, not my phone this time, just to sort of make use of the hotel Wi-Fi. So if you are watching, do let me know you can hear me and whatnot, and I'm coming through okay, live, loud and clear. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
Boris Johnson and the room starting to fill up there. Our political editor back with us as we wait for the results of that confidence vote in the Prime Minister. And I know it's a bit long time, of course, which they made. This is bringing back memories for me of.
So, from what we can see at the moment, the room is filling up. We are now waiting for the result. Like I said, the result is at 9 o'clock, which is now 7 minutes away from the destined time. So we will find out very, very shortly what the result is going to be. Working very hard. So Max is live streaming as well. To be honest, I thought, oh, we'd all be live streaming at once. I was very much convinced we were all going to be live streaming at once, all from different places. Aldrich Shivaz. Couldn't opposition MPs cast a confidence vote in order to face an easy opponent in 2024 elections? No, this is only Conservative MPs that are casting votes tonight. No other parties involved. This is entirely a Conservative affair. What you're thinking is a vote of no confidence in the government. This is, of course, a vote of no confidence in Boris Johnson, and it's come directly from Conservative MPs. This isn't a vote of no confidence in the government. So that's what we're seeing tonight. So no opposition MPs involved this time in this type of vote. But from what we've been hearing, less especially since we were last live streaming, literally 2 hours ago now, we've got several MPs come out and said they're going to support him. Others come out and say, oh no, he's fine. We just saw the MP for Rother Valley a couple of minutes ago come out and say, oh, Boris is going to survive this, he's going to walk this. We really don't know, to be honest, what is going to happen here tonight. But it's going to be close. I think there's already reports of it being in at least 120, between 140. That's the estimate that's been given. If it's between that, Boris Johnson obviously sort of wins, but the fact you've got between 120, between 140 MPs in your party openly declared, well, we're not going to support you, isn't really good. It's not a good look. And just as we've seen earlier on today, Nadine Dorries having a good old pop at, well, Jeremy Hunt. Conservative civil war potentially on the cards now, potentially on the cards. Um, Looking at what could happen here. Um, and as I've said multiple times before when we've talked about this, it is going to be a bare knuckle knockdown fight. My over and under on this, I think Boris is going to win. I really think he is. I think he's going to win. But of course, it's how much opposition there is against him, because that will tell anything under. We're looking for at least over 100 Conservative MPs to oppose him. If it is between that 120, 140 number in opposition, Boris Johnson is in trouble, regardless. Even if he's won this vote, he is in some serious trouble. Some serious trouble. He's going to have huge difficulty going forward from this. As I said, just again, my earlier live stream, if you caught it as voting was opening around about 6 o'clock today, we know other Conservative prime ministers, when they've had these types of vote of no confidence, they found it very, very difficult to progress. Very, very difficult. So might want to crank up the volume a tad. Oh no, we're not coming in properly. Hopefully, oh no. Hang on. Something. So yeah, I think this is going to be very interesting. Yeah, Loki's children. Yeah, dead prime minister walking. My feeling is my feeling really is he's going to survive. I will be very, very shocked if he loses this. I'll be very, very shocked, but not surprised. I'll be quite happy, to be honest. All right, we finally got rid of Boris Johnson. But I really feel you've got an hour. No, the result is at 9 o'clock. We've got literally counting down. I've got Sky News open in front of me. I can see inside the 1922 committee room. The MPs are gathering as we speak on this. So we've just got to wait. But my feeling is he will survive. But I feel that there is going to be a significant number. Oh, hang on. I think we've got some movement. Hang on, I think we've got some movement. Oh no. But my over under is I think there's going to be a significant enough people who vote against him that makes it very clear Johnson has troubles, that he has huge troubles. If he survived, you think there'll be emotion at White Commons? Very, very possibly. Lots of Conservative MPs love to say, oh, he's fine, and the constituencies love him still. There's been no, there's been no trouble. It's just a few rabble rousers. No, the anger in the Conservative grassroots is huge. Oh, hang on. I think we have movement.
The point of maximum weakness for the Prime Minister, kind of the Monday back off.
Oh no. Nothing yet. So I think what we're looking for tonight is how much people vote for that no confidence. And ideally, we want it to be at least between 120 and 140. That is what has been floating around, certainly the last couple of hours. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. You can see the officers coming in.
Here we go.
Is Graham Brady in the middle?
Here we go.
Good evening.
Paper.
I can report as returning officer that 359 ballots were cast, no spoiled ballots, that the vote in favour of having confidence in Boris Johnson's leader was 211 votes, and the vote against was 148 votes. And therefore, I can announce that
148.
does have confidence.
148. 148 Tory MPs voted against him. Boris Johnson is in trouble. You cannot seriously tell me that is a good result. That is not a good result. Boris Johnson is in trouble. 148. We were expecting, just as I said a few moments ago, between 120, 140. It was 148. So 148 voted against Boris, but 211 voted for him. 148, good result, just not in favour of whom. 148 voted against him. 148 voted in no confidence in Boris Johnson. That is what has happened. 148 voted heavily against him. But obviously 211 voted in favour. But 148 is not a good result. That's 148 MPs in your party that are not giving you your support. Look, his children, the Tories, will be in internal civil war. Exactly. This is what it has come down to. This is what it is going to be now. I think there is going to be, again, more soul searching happen in the Tory party, and look on, but Boris is done. It's over. It's over for Boris. You cannot say that is a good result. That is not definitive. That is in a very big trouble territory. I mean, 148, there were 2 off 150. That's not good. And of course, Mike Flanley, you just pointed out, there have been talks today earlier about the Conservatives changing the rules in this. That is possible. They may change the rules so that they can have another vote no confidence later. That is very possible. That is very, very possible. They may do that, especially if they feel that more stuff comes out about Partygate, because you've got to remember there is a MP and a select committee now going to be investigating Partygate. And more specifically, they are investigating, one of the things they are certainly looking at are those 2 parties that were sort of mentioned in the Sue Gray report, but she didn't investigate, and neither did the police. So, yeah, Doug Tang 92. I wonder how they'll settle this. Not at all. This is not settled. 148, not settled. 100, maybe. Less than 100, absolutely. If there had been, at least 300 or more in that yes column, this would be settled. This isn't settled. This is not settled by a long shot. As we said, Bob, throughout the day, historically, when Conservative MPs have had this type of no confidence vote in them, they end up being a very wounded animal. So, what happens now? What have I missed? What have I missed? Um, Basically, just for those to catch up, for those who have come in early, um, the question asked for Tory MPs tonight was, do you have confidence in Prime Minister Boris Johnson? The answer for yes was 211. The answer for no was 148. That's 148 people in the Conservative Party who do not have confidence in the Prime Minister. You are likely to see more open rebellions, more trouble for Johnson, and certainly more trouble for him in the future from many of these Conservatives. And of course, you've got 2 by-elections coming up, which, given the polling for Wakefield, almost certainly Wakefield does not seem that it's going to go in favour for Johnson, or the Conservatives, shall we say, and of course down in Tugner. That doesn't seem well either. Yeah, Andrew Palmer, yeah, the bloodbath begins. True. It's how much now? We know Boris Johnson has had a history of getting revenge and going after people. How much is that going to affect things? Might we see more cabinet resignations in the near future? We've had one already. Liz Truss's junior secretary resigned today from the government. He's an MP, still an MP, but he's resigned from his governmental position. That was very big. There is, this hasn't been good. 148 is not a good result. Yes, Johnson has survived, but 148 people do not have confidence in him. That is a significant amount of your party that doesn't have confidence in you. Historically, this has not worked out for other Conservative MPs, namely Theresa May, John Major, even Margaret Thatcher. So, how this plays out now, what happens from here, we really do not know. Which way this goes, difficult to say. Really difficult to say which way this goes, honestly. But yeah, 148, not good. We'll see what the papers say tomorrow. I'm sure certainly the pro-Boris cohort will try and spin this as a win of some sort, but it absolutely isn't. 148 is not a good result. Not a good result at all. For this to have been, a good result for Johnson, he would have at least needed it in the double digits to at least see off any potential future rebellion. This has cemented a future rebellion. This has cemented more trouble for Boris Johnson. Partygate is not over. We've got another select committee inquiry coming up, which again is going to look into 2 of those parties. So we're going to have more revelations about Partygate. Dominic Cummings is going to be giving evidence again in Parliament about those 2 parties again. Bad for Johnson. Small majorities. This majority at the moment, given obviously the numbers at the moment, 63. But even then, this isn't good. Press F to pay respect to the stream. Yeah, this is not good. 148. Remember, this is actually more. This is 8 more than we said when we were guessing what the numbers were. We thought between at least 120, 140. This was 148. That's a significant number, and it's what happens now. 59% want him out. Is that the percentage then? I'm guessing of the number. The party is split from its base. That's true as well. It was kind of weird because there was an MP earlier on from Rother Valley, which is again not too far, obviously from where I am, and he was saying, "Oh my God, my constituents support, Boris. They all love him." But if you've seen anything really from people who live in that area, I do. They really don't support him. There's really not that support, at least not what he says. So that's the percentage then. So it's 41% want him gone, 59% have voted him for him to stay. That's over, if over 40%, we'll call it 40%. 40% of your party want you gone. That's not good. This is not good. This doesn't set a good precedent for him. And you've got those 2 by-elections coming up. The Lib Dems are going to take this result to the bank. Oh, look, you've got all these Conservatives who have voted for, for him to stay. If you put a Conservative MP in his place, all they're going to do is support Boris, when we all know he should have resigned and gone a long time ago. Yep, he is. Either way, he's toast. Absolutely. It's just what happens next. It really is just a case of what happens next. We don't know. We don't know what, of course, these rebels are going to do next. We don't know whether we might see more resignations. It's very likely, as we've said, there's going to be more Partygate revelations, certainly in the next coming months, because there's going to be a sort of a parliamentary inquiry into this, which is going to certainly reveal new things. You've also got, remember this summer as well, Boris promised to start the public open COVID inquiry to obviously the UK's response to COVID. That has not been announced yet. If he doesn't do that, especially by the end of the summer, he's going to get a lot of flack for that. And we know full well, despite how many Conservatives love to say, "Oh, Boris got all the big calls right during COVID." No, Boris did not get any of the calls right in COVID at all. He dithered, he delayed, he got so much stuff wrong. And a lot of Conservative MPs want to try and delay that as much as possible. Oh, Keir Starmer's making a statement. Hold on.
The British public are fed up with a Prime Minister who promises big but never delivers. Fed up with a Prime Minister who's presided over a culture of lies and law-breaking at the heart of government. Fed up with a Prime Minister who is utterly unfit for the great office that he holds. Conservative MPs made their choice tonight. They have ignored the British public.
Oh, they have. I don't know if you can hear Keir Starmer.
To Boris Johnson and everything that he represents.
The Conservative Party now believes that good government focused on improving lives is too much to ask. The Conservative government now believes that breaking the law is no impediment to making the law. The Conservative Party now believes that the British public have no right to expect honest politicians. Over the weekend, the whole country celebrated the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. It was a tribute to 70 years of humility, decency, and respect. A reminder of our common cause to build a better country for ourselves, our children, and our grandchildren. It is grotesque that the very next day, the Conservative Party has chosen to throw that sense of duty and those values on the bonfire. The choice in British politics is clearer tonight than ever before. A Labour Party united under my leadership with a plan to ensure that Britain is never again plunged into a cost of living crisis, focused on growing the economy so we can afford world-class schools and hospitals, and determined to restore trust in politics. Or a Conservative Party that is divided, propping up Boris Johnson with no plan to tackle the issues facing you and your family. I don't claim that I and my party will get everything right. I promise that when we don't,
Any bills being voted on today? No, not today.
Prioritize your prosperity and your security, and we will treat you with the respect.
Okay, so I don't know if you can hear Keir Starmer's speech, but it's probably going to go on for a bit. Yeah, Keir Starmer obviously going on the attack, quite rightly so. This is a massive open goal, not only just for Labour, but the Lib Dems as well. If I were Ed Daly, I would be letting Keir Starmer do his thing. And as soon as Keir Starmer has gone live, I would do my thing and just put the boot in. Very, very firmly put the boot in on this. So I suppose the big question really is where do we go from here? Well, very clearly, 148 Conservative MPs wanted Boris gone. They can, if they want, start to do things to make it very difficult. So they could just start boycotting votes. But obviously they'd have their whip removed from them. They could cross over to the Labour Party or even the Lib Dems, depending on where they are. That could happen. We could see maybe future resignations with other people in the party, as we saw early on today. Theresa May's junior advisor, again, another MP quit today because of this. Oh, there we go. We're back. The by-elections coming up in Wakefield and Tiverton going to put. Hang on, we keep on dropping in and out now. Because we keep on dropping in and out. I'll try and wrap quickly. So by-elections, polling shows ultimately going to go to Labour. Tiverton, we hope the Conservatives can overturn the Conservative majority. They've proved it before in other seats like Chesham and Amersham, so it is very possible they can do it down in Tiverton. Again, really important, if you live in those two seats, if you live in Wakefield, vote Labour. If you live in Tiverton, vote Lib Dems. They could be huge indicators. And if that happens, there is a potentiality that Conservatives can change the rules on the no confidence votes. They can change it, because if they see Boris Johnson as a threat, and it stuns me how they cannot see that with Boris Johnson in charge going into the next general election, they are going to lose. Tactical voting is going to be deployed. I think that if the Conservatives and the Lib Dems generally seriously get together and seriously organise themselves, they have a huge chance of winning. And essentially, as we talked about before, fulfilling the Conservative nightmare, not only a collapse in the in the blue wall, but also seeing a collapse in the red wall as well, a double collapse, which would potentially leave them being the third largest party in Parliament. That is huge. That is the Tory nightmare scenario. And those two seats, so long as they don't go to the Conservatives, fulfill that deathly scenario. So it is not a good look for them. And this tonight shows you how deeply divided the Conservative Party really is. Because I guarantee you, among those yes voters, there are some who maybe at the last minute changed their minds, who went, maybe I'll back Boris this time. Maybe it's not the right time yet. But to seriously say that there are some Conservatives out there who seriously think it is a good idea, to take Boris Johnson into the next general election, they are absolutely dreaming. Boris Johnson is a dead PM walking. He is now a wounded animal. And history shows us Theresa May, John Major, Margaret Thatcher, all of this when it happened to them, sooner or later they found it more difficult to govern. They lost all authority. Oh, Jimmy LK, hello to those who came from Max's. Oh, well, to all the Max viewers out there. Like I say, well, welcome. We were just wrapping it up. Like I say, I'm on my way to Bruges this week, so hence why I'm in a hotel in this. There is again that you are right, Daniel. The Commons inquiry into this, that's going to bring up more stuff. The two parties that weren't investigated in the Prime Minister's flat, the infamous ABBA party, and another one as well, going to be brought up. That's going to get dragged out more. That is going to infuriate the public even more. The idea that the Conservatives MPs, quote, don't know that the public anger out there is not at a boiling, it's not at a boiling point, it is an all-time high. They are living in cloud cuckoo land, hoping that Boris Johnson will somehow deliver again on his amazing quote-unquote electoral magic. Colin Thompson, this results work well for Labour. Yes, it does. Works absolutely fantastic for Labour, works absolutely fantastic for the Lib Dems as well, because their attack line going into the next general election, especially down south, is your MP backed Boris. How can you ever trust your MP in a future election? And of course, they will have other attack lines as well. But that'll be the main one. That'll be the biggest. That'll be the major one on this. How he survives going forward is, we don't know. But going forward from here, Boris Johnson has lost a lot of support from his fellow Conservatives. 148 voted no. That is a very significant number. The idea that tonight's vote, as a lot of Conservatives have been coming out to say, this solves the issue, that this is now a done and dusted case. No. 148 proves exactly the opposite. Exactly the opposite. Boris Johnson has been significantly wounded by this. We'll see what the papers have to say tomorrow. But they cannot spin a good way out of this. They cannot spin a good way out of this at all. The idea that this is a victory, a win for Boris Johnson, absolutely not. And they're going to be, obviously, what the Boris supporters out there are going to be spinning this as a win, but I'm sorry, 148 MPs voted heavily against you. I think someone said it in the chat earlier today. That's what 41% of Conservative MPs wanted to get rid of Boris tonight. There is, of course, the other scenario which we've talked about before, Boris Johnson calling an early election to essentially try and restore his authority. That's potentially, but I think he would only do it if he saw that he had lost that authority. So I hope that is what has happened. Like I said, we're going to end it soon because, like I say, we're having internet issues now, but this is what happens when you're traveling. So please do hit that like button. If you are new here and you've sort of just discovered me, please do hit that subscribe button as well. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and an off-station link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. Although being in Bruges next week, I will probably buy a beer. There are a lot of very nice breweries in Bruges, shall I say? So I am looking forward to that. I'm on the Eurostar early doors tomorrow morning. So yeah, look out for more stuff I've got coming up for you. Probably more live streams, maybe even some live from Bruges as well. Takeaway from this has not been a clear victory, have not been decisive. Boris Johnson is set for future troubles. Not only that, potentially opening the way, as we've said before, for a Tory party civil war. So with that said, time will tell what will happen next, how this will play out, and just what might happen. We're going to have to wait and see. But needless to say, tomorrow, they are going to be in panic mode, damage control mode. You're going to have lots of Conservative MPs saying, look, Boris won, he won handily. No, he didn't win handily. There were 148 who voted against him. That is not a good number to be at. So with that said, as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time, probably in Bruges. So, as always, see you all very night.